Everybody, welcome. We'll chat out here. Hey, what's up, S Grizzles? What's up, Jake? Popping back in here. What's up, Max? For everyone watching now or in the replay, be sure to check out. I did release a guide yesterday, if you haven't already. Sort of explanations for 12 of the most confusing items in League of Legends. So I talk about item stats, their value, optimization, like what makes for a good item in general, and then like why some of these items are misunderstood. And usually they're really powerful items, but sometimes people don't understand why they're powerful or why they should get them. So why you should get something like Athene's Unholy Grail instead of Witchbane on Sona, for example. Yeah, we go through Ardent Censer, Athene's Redemption, Blade the Ruined King, Rage Blade, Hurricane, Cleaver, Wits End, Death's Dance, Titanic Hydra, ZZ Rot, and Frozen Heart. We can get some wins tonight. I can feel it in my wounds. I hope so. I think we ended on a win last night, but yeah, it was kind of rough. Someone asked me in the comments, like, why I don't complete my boots too in some fights. And especially if you're behind, you think about what are the purpose of boots. You're spending 600 gold on boots. And a lot of times it is good to complete boots too, but 600 gold is not free. That comes at a very strong opportunity cost. That's about a third of a Redemption or a third of an Athene's. So, see, 311 to 317. Doesn't look like there's that many games. But it comes at a heavy cost. You know, and there are some pro games on some champions. It depends on who they are. A lot of times with Thresh, you're almost always going to rush mobility boots. But there are some champions that have some innate speed, like a Janna or a Sona with her E, sometimes Nami, where, especially if you're losing, if you're getting pushed in, you just need that power. Like, you need to complete the Redemption. So finishing Redemption might give your team a better chance to win than finishing mobility boots, for example. So if you're ahead, and if you're having to rotate around the map a lot, if there's a lot of skirmishing going on, then getting something like mobility boots can be helpful. But what are we banning these days? I guess we can just ban out ban Yi. I don't want to deal with that champ. Yeah, that's the answer. And like in some games, you know, I was trying to look and see, because there are some champions that like won't get the mobility boots as quickly in some games. A lot of times in pro play they will do it because they have organized rotations that are a lot faster, and they're not going to get their secondary items until much later. So it just depends. I mean, a lot of times I like getting boots after the first item, but if we are getting pushed in and we're losing really hard, then sometimes I'll skip the secondary boots just so I can get to Redemption faster. Okay, let me do my so yeah, I mean, I could be wrong about that in some instances. I just feel like if you're getting blasted and you really need power in team fights, then Redemption's going to help more than mobility boots. Although, once again, the boots are good in some situations. If you're not team fighting as much, if you're just skirmishing, then obviously the boots are going to be better. But if you're losing a lot, they're probably going to force you into... I really don't... I mean, I don't know what the stats Kayle, I still think Kayle is garbage. I mean, maybe people aren't playing her right, but you're not going to convince me that people should be playing Kayle right now. Maybe in Masters, but like, I don't know. It's such a small sample size of people. And like, they're going to at least play around it as a specific win condition. Like, it might get a lot more jungle attention and that type of stuff. I'm considering maybe, like, if we have Lucian on our team sometimes, trying out Braum, but this would be a decent spot for it against Thresh. %20 on Lucian. She's pretty good on Lux. I guess we'll keep it. Yeah, I've never thought, oh my god, they have Lux, like, we're in trouble. You know? Maybe she's won some games, but I feel like in my games, both for and against, it just feels like she always loses. Maybe I'm just remembering the extreme cases, but yeah, Fiddle's just not really well designed for the modern jungle. Well, I think what Max is saying is just predict their pathing absolutely perfectly and path around them so that you never see them for the first 15 minutes of the game, and then you're perfect with your Fiddlesticks jungle.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Well, that's assuming perfect pathing though, Max. That's a lot easier said than done. Depends on your elo bracket, but if they have that warded and they see you invade their jungle, even if their jungler is on your other side, they might, you know, they might collapse on you. So, for example, if their jungle invades your blue and you try to go take their blue and they have this pixel bush warded and they get priority in mid lane and top lane, their top laner and mid laner can just rotate down, potentially, and take you out when you try to take their blue. So it handicaps you a lot to play Fiddlesticks right now because you kind of like a bad Ivern or something. Jesus, these guys.
Sure as the tides.
Damn, I should have just auto-attacked that. Yeah, I mean, Fiddle's bad. That's basically what's going on, too. I mean, I think he's a little bit better as support, you know, in certain situations maybe, but yeah, he's very vulnerable in the jungle. And if I want to play somebody vulnerable, I'd rather play something that scales a bit harder than he does, you know. I'd rather play like Master Yi, you know, if I want to lose early jungle, or like Ivern or something. I feel like I've landed 20 auto attacks on him, and I feel like Lucian has landed maybe 3 during the laning phase so far. I mean, this dude is a 20% Lucian. I don't know. He plays Vayne, which is like similar to Lucian. Sort of. I mean, like mobile, you know, short range auto attacker. And he has a decent win rate with Vayne, I think, but pretty low win rate with Lucian. Go, dash. Use your dash. Or just don't. Okay. Attack! Stay on him! Oh my god, are we going to have another Draven situation today? Those of you that watched the stream last night don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, nice. Cool story, Nico. Jungler was dead. We knew Jungler was dead from top side. So we still had another like 20 seconds or so before the Jungler was eligible to be there. We'll go ahead and get boots on this one because against Thresh, you know, we really want the mobility so we can try to dodge those hooks. So he's probably going to rush Moby boots. Damn, this dude is all in on that early game. Corrupting Potion and 2 Dark Seals. So it's like, yeah, he's getting some advantages. He's paying a huge cost for that, though. But yeah, in general, you want to watch out for the jungler, but, you know, we could be that aggressive because we knew that he just died top lane trying to invade our red. He just got Dragon, though, so he sees Nocturne top. Okay, they didn't get anything for it, but I should have pinged that Thresh roam a little bit earlier. Okay, so she's going for Blather and King build, which I think is pretty bad against our comps. We don't have any tanks. I mean, we have Malphite, but he's going like a lot of AP. Yeah, Zen's probably down here too, because they just got Dragon. Well, that was really annoying. I thought we'd have it. I mean, he has his ult, like, I don't know. I feel like that's really weird. Like, we should have been able to win that. Because he has his ult. No, maybe he used, when did he use his ult? If he would have ulted right when I ulted. Because I interrupted her dash. She tried to dash and dodge my wave and got hit by it anyways. So I feel like if he would have channeled his ult there, he could have flashed her, or he could have forced her flash earlier. Get him! No! Attack her! One more. Okay. He attacked the minion first when I put the E on him. Alright, so they overstayed. God, if she got out of that, I was gonna... I was not gonna be happy about it. Oops, I didn't need to take both those. Okay, Zen's dead. Still. We could have gotten a plate, but this is a pretty good time to back for him, so that makes sense. Yeah, I saw that OG too. I'm like, what? So they're trying to make it to where he's not as tanky, but you have to choose. I think that's good balancing in general. I don't know about the 0 cooldown, but in general saying, look, your champion is going to have, instead of just gutting the champion, just saying, look, all of their power being concentrated on this one ability is bad. So let's make them choose. You know, it's like, yeah, you can get that really cool W, but then you're not going to have your shield. Then you're going to be really squishy if you don't have it. So I think having 2 really good abilities and one, like, 1-point wonder is a good balancing tool. Flammable and inflammable means the same thing. That's true. That I feel you on that, Lux. That's a weird one. Alright, he's dead. It's gonna be 3 bot, and they're gonna get Dragon after they kill him. Yeah? Yeah?
Here comes the heat. Turret plating will fall soon.
I mean, there were four wards around that river. Like, literally. And dragons coming up, like. Nocturne almost has his ult back. Use Rift down here, bro. Don't get hooked by Thresh, though, while you're channeling it. Please don't channel it right there. I don't know why we can't just channel Rift and walk it in. I can't defend that by myself, I don't think. Tanky Lux is a fun build. What? I never want to see that in chat. Like, oh my god, he went Grasp. It's like, bro. The whole champion is predicated on like skill shots and you not getting hit and stuff. Dude, he can't do anything to Drendomir. Price is getting free farm. I don't know, we're ahead, but I definitely do not feel comfortable with this lead. Malphite doesn't quite have his ult back. Nocturne does. Yeah, like, what I wanted was for him just to walk over, like, and just drop the Herald near our tower and just sit in the lane and push it up, you know? Like, I'm gonna go for Redemption here.
Ride upon the waves.
Yeah, I didn't want to dive. That's why I pinged the Herald.
Swim against the current.
It's not turn. Okay, he's going for the burst damage. Sometimes there's like an attack speed build, which is better against things like Baron. But, yeah, I know Zen's top, so it should be safe to go in here and get vision on this. At least partially. I'm not going to go much deeper than that, but...
I will see my home again.
Someone's got to go get top, though. Junior doesn't have TP. We should be able to win this even without Malphite, I think.
Has been destroyed.
Someone's got to come up here and deal with this trash. Dude, no one else can deal with him but you, man. Okay, I think they're going to sandwich him, hopefully. For real? Trinimir's such an obnoxious champion. How the f did he even get over there? He just walked all the way around this or something?
My people are counting on me.
It just depends, Glenn. It depends. Yeah, I mean, in general, yes, you have an advantage if you have an early lead. I mean, with any comp, if you have a lead, you want to try to close the game out. But, so I'm not sure quite what you mean. But, like, some comps are considered better early game, and some comps are better late game. It depends on the scaling of your champion. Yeah, in general, if you can win the game, you know, you should try to win the game. But we need to finish early because we don't have an answer for Trindamere late. It's like we have a tank top instead of a split pusher top, which is a no-no for solo queue, typically, because it's too hard to close games. Tanks are like way better in the mid game when their abilities, the base power of their abilities is way stronger. That's all we need right there, right here, right here. I hate Trindamere so much. Damn it. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens, Malphite. Welcome to top lane. Have you never played top lane? This guy's like, I don't believe it. I played a tank top and I'm getting outscaled by a split pusher. It's like, bro. Bro, I'm a good tank champion, low elo. I don't recommend him. No, I don't like pure tanks. Like, you can do it, but it requires a lot more team coordination. You have to be really confident that, because it's really hard to make plays as Braum, and you don't scale. You know, with Sona, you don't make a ton of plays, or it's harder to, but you have insane scaling. But the problem with pure tanks is they don't scale, and they have a hard time making plays. So, you know, most of the best tanks, if you want to play tanks, are engaged tanks, like Leona, Nautilus, Thresh, and that's reflected in win rates as well. It's just kind of the theory behind it. We don't know where Trendemir is. Yeah, he's over here. This is why I tell people not to play tanks, top lane, just in general in solo queue, tanks almost anywhere. Like, they're so good in pro play, but they're so poor. Where did he go? Yeah. We got to get him while he's not pushing a lane. We got to push up while he's not here. Vlad's really kind of keeping him in this game. Hopefully Nocturne can take it. I guess we'll find out. No, quick wins. Have you never lost a game at 15 minutes before? Like, yeah, Mike's helped for everything, but, like, you can do quick wins. You just have to, like, figure out how to leverage your lead, which usually involves, like, shot calling, which you don't need a mic for. You can just ping. Is Trendemir here? Okay, Kai'Sa's not here, though. Okay, if we win this, we just straight win the game, I'm pretty sure. Run it down middle. They don't have much wave clear. Yeah, we have Baroned up supers. Okay, come on. Come here. I don't think we needed to dive that. I think we could have just waited on the supers and just used the Nocturnal to counter. I don't need to try to get back to base. I think they're just going to win off of this, actually. Lucian, fight! I think that he and Nocturne could have taken the Zen, but...
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
I mean, you can win with anything. I'm just telling you that, like, in general, tanks, unless you're talking Alistar, like, not all tanks are created equal. Like, Leona, good pick at silver and lower, you know. Leona, Thresh potentially, Nautilus, Alistar to a lesser extent. Like, those are going to be better than, like, Braum, Tom, Shen, Galio, that type of stuff. Because you can start fights. Like, a major thing about tanks in solo queue, if they're good at support, it's because they can start fights. And a lot of times it's also because they roam really well. Which roaming is very advanced to figure out when to do it properly. So many people do it improperly. God, I hate that champion so much. It's only because we don't have a top laner. I mean, like, our top laner is good at team fighting. Can we just force a fight here on these clowns? Okay, we have all the lanes pushed up. He doesn't have teleport, thank God. He's going solo queue Tryndamere special. Alright. What do you do when everyone's shot calling objectives? You probably lose. I mean, anytime someone says, what do you do if, like, your team's bad? I mean, most of the time you just lose. But that almost never happens. Like, sometimes you have people shot calling different stuff, but usually nobody's saying anything is the standard. I mean, there's no perfect way to win, right? Even if you do shot call correctly every objective, you can still lose the game off of mechanics. But it's just going to increase your probability to win. We need to make progress. He's going to go for this right here. If we can kill him. Okay. Malphite should have teleport up soon. He could flank us, though. I need wards down so we can see where he is. We gotta ward our own jungle so we can see when he's creeping. Hopefully, I mean, we have every bush warded. Hopefully he's not just hiding. He probably is, though. But we do have the quick back. Yeah, there he is. I think we can take him. Or we can race him. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Just push up a side lane. Actually, we need to get top. We need to pressure top. Yeah, just cut him off. We really needed to get that kill. Can we fight these dudes? Wait, what are we pinging? Where? Shit. Champion. Piece of shit champion. God, I hate. He's so infuriating. I mean, if he spots me, I'm dead. This is why split pushing is so important, though, and so valuable, and why I'm always talking about pick a top laner that split pushes well, because... Okay, good, we got him. This Lux is actually not very squishy at all with her build. Like, I was kind of saying that, you know, tank Lux was bad, but against, like, a Tryndamere, or, like, against their specific type of comp, it's not bad, actually. What the... Oh, that lantern. I didn't see it until too late. We still have advantages, I think. Okay, we got it. Woo! We finally hunted it down. Yeah, it's usually really bad. Like, usually you should just position better and go for more damage. I mean, she basically just went Rod of the Ages and Grasp, which is awkward. But yeah, I think you should go Comet on Lux. And then, I mean, Rod is like, it's alright. It slows you down a little bit, but it has nice damage on it once it charges up. It's like 100 damage. So Rod is pretty cost efficient. It's like 150% efficient, which is really good for an AP item. Yeah, but it's not really like tank, you know. It's like she has some HP off of Rod, and she has Grasp. And we finally managed to run down that Tryndamere. But as you can see, it was a huge problem late game. Even though he was like 0-5 in the lane. I mean, he finished the game 2-8, and we almost lost because of him. It was very close. His CS numbers weren't even that crazy. He only had 195. Actually, no, they were pretty high. They were the 251. I was looking at the wrong sheet there. So, yeah, he had pretty high CS rate. But, yeah, I mean, that's the power of split pushing. Like, it really forced us out of our game plan. What are the problems for years? Like, I think Riot does a great job with most things. I don't know what some of the problems that have lingered for years for. Yeah, I got that, Dave. Yeah, I can do it off stream. I wasn't able to get it done today, but maybe tonight. Or I might just do it on stream here in a minute if we get a dodge or something. Yeah. I don't think Trent needs a rework. He does what he does. I think he has a very clear niche at what he's good at. He's very good at dueling and split pushing, and that's all he does. So I think that's fine. I don't think, I mean, I think he's balanced. He's just really frustrating to deal with if you don't have, like, a really good answer to him. He's just an extreme champ. You know, and there are lots of extreme champs out there. Like, all Soraka does is heal, basically. She's kind of like the extreme enchanter. Hey, what's up, Matt? Let's ban Leona. I don't know. He's already banned. I don't think he's as extreme as Master Yi is. Like, because he's mostly armor. He doesn't have true damage. So, like, tanks, you know, can hold him down for a little bit. I think he's more balanced than he is. Also, he doesn't go untargetable, so you can actually land your CC on him. Like, the big thing about Yi that makes him so frustrating and imbalanced is because he goes untargetable so often with his Alpha Strike. Well, I mean, the frustration in LoL is just, it's a very competitive game, and it's, you know, if you're really wanting to win, it is hard. Like, so if people get mad if they lose, you know, and you're not consistently improving, then you're probably going to be mad a lot, you know? Hey, thanks, Matt. He's not, Bizzleberry's not a pro. He's a cool guy, but he's not a professional. He's like a master. He was a I don't know if he still masters or diamond, but he's a cool guy. Yeah, I've heard of him. I watched some of his stuff. He's good. I was considering trying to do a collaboration with him at some point. I want to do more of those collaborations. I did that one with Mino Haxor and Nasty, but I guess I'll just Nami here.
I decide what the tide will bring.
Okay, it's pretty good matchup in Darius. That guy's pretty good on Syndra. Okay. Wait, what is their bot lane? Is it Yasuo? I don't know. Yeah, I've watched, well, not like a 4-hour stream all the way through, but yeah, I've rewatched some of my guides. I have watched some individual games in some specific moments. Yeah, that's another good point. I mean, Tryndamere is basically like, he's terrible at team fighting. He's pretty much just there to split push. Like, he can take objective, like, he can take Barons pretty quickly and stuff too. But like Master Yi, you know, he takes objectives really quickly. He can split push. He can 1v1, and he can team fight pretty well. Do my students watch? There's been a couple over the years that have watched, but not a lot. No, I don't really advertise it to them. But yeah, when I collaborated with Mino Haxor and Nasty, I really, like, it didn't get a lot of traction. Like, I was hoping that, like, maybe some people from their channels would come and check out my channel, and we could all grow a little bit. Like, maybe it would get a few thousand views, and then maybe, like, that day I might see a pop in subs. You know, I might get 100 subs or something in a day, and maybe he gets 100, and we both benefit, because then there's a lot of overlap in the community, so people might want to, like, subscribe to both, right? That's the thought. But, you know, on my channel, it only got like 700 views. I didn't notice any pop in subs from the collaboration. I think his was the same thing. I don't know if he got a pop in subs from my channel, but his didn't get a lot of views either. A lot more than his normal views that he gets. And the same thing with Haxor, so. I think you have to go Conquer on Yasuo. I mean, what else are you going to get? Like, yeah, it got nerfed a lot, but I just don't know if he has other options.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Vel'Koz, that's annoying. Sadie. I guess you could take Fleet. I don't know. I think Fleet's probably pretty garbage on him. Maybe not, but best support versus assassins not named Lulu. I don't. It depends on your comp. Maybe Leona, Thresh. Fiddlesticks can be all right. Janna can be all right, depending on the assassin. Clyde wasn't quick bait enough. Maybe. Which right would it make my old main role useless now? What's a useless role? I don't think any role is useless in League. I think on any given patch, some roles are maybe better than others, but I think that all roles can win if you're good on them, for sure. Vel'Koz is annoying to go against. Like, if you gank the Vel'Koz, you know, you can definitely beat him, but which stream title? Cranking the Rankin? Oh, Blitz Crank. I'm probably not going to play Blitz. If I play any hook champion, I know you like the hook champion, it'd probably be Nautilus. I haven't been winning a lot on those champs in the preseason. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they usually do like 10-minute videos or something, so their people don't watch it. I mean, as far as like my audience goes, it was actually a pretty like average, you know, viewership number. It was decent. I think it got like 800 or something, so it was about as much as a guide gets these days. It kind of makes me sad. We're getting so much more views like last year at this time, but I think just the YouTube algorithm has changed, and there's just a lot more competition in the field now too. And a lot of these people, you know, they're dropping so much money on extra editors and branding and all this stuff. You think about like, you know, like Nasty and Bizzleberry and Some of these other people. I've got to learn video editing and just step it up a little bit. I swear, I don't know. I need to go on Twitch also. I don't have a lot of like mana, dude. Man, I really need more mana for this lane.
An enemy has been slain.
Maybe he hits me with something, I'm basically dead. I really hate playing so far back, but I need to save my mana a little bit. I guess I can use it on Kaisa. I was hoping to get a bouncy Yasuo there. I should have upgraded it one more. The Aerie saved him. I didn't have enough mana for W, so I just Aeried. Okay, nice. So the Aerie saved him initially, because targeting with E puts Aerie on him, which gives him that small shield. But,
My quest beckons.
An enemy has been slain.
I think some people like if my daughter, you know, comes in to the guides and things like that sometimes, but I just need to put in like more graphics and things like that. Try to shorten it down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Lee could have come down a bit faster, but other stuff is happening on the map. And we're like doing all right, you know. I mean, I put out more raw content than anybody, but I just need to have more, just like more editing. It just takes so much longer to do the editing and things like that. Get that off here. Give me this.
Sure as the tides.
Well, at the same time, I'm never going to do a 10-minute guide, you know, clickbait type of thing like a lot of other people. And I do have timestamps, and I have a Google Doc for it, so I mean, I don't know. What order of items do you get with Sona? It depends on the game state. There's not a simple answer to that. Almost always Athene's first, but then after that, it depends on how your team's doing. A lot of times I get Redemption next, but there's definitely an argument for Ardent Censor. Depends on how well your AD carry's doing. I'd say check out my tier list if you want to, you know, see... I talk about the different items and when you should consider getting them. But there's not really like a cut and dry answer. It's tough because, you know, I just have so much other stuff going on. Like, I have career plus family, and that's, you know, time-wise, like, editing can take a long time. But I think if I learn it, if I just sit down and learn it, and I should be working on dissertation too. So technically, I'm like a student and a professor and a family man and a YouTube content creator. I just haven't really been doing anything on the student side for a really long time. But I need to be finishing my dissertation. Wow, what the fuck is going on? God, Darius just got like 2 or 3 shutdowns. That's rough. Damn, they have Water Drake too. It's so troll. Why would you not heal for me first before he ignites? I can't afford to hire someone to edit videos. It's too expensive. How many pages is a dissertation on average? 150, 200. Probably closer to 200. It depends on the field. Basically a book. That's in like English. I don't know, like math or science ones might be shorter.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, well, Syndra's crushing mid lane, which is nice. I think they know, right? We didn't have lane priority.
An enemy has been slain.
The problem, not so much as the writing, it's getting it through the committee. There's some difficult people on the committee that I've been dreading, you know, trying to get back together with, but I just gotta do it. Just gotta put my head down and do it. Cool. Dissertations like usually take 2 years of very steady research and writing for at least like 6 hours a day, close to it. It's like a full-time job to finish a dissertation. And usually like bare minimum 1 year, usually closer to 2 years. Just push this. Stop talking to each other. Who gives a shit? Just win the game. Syndra is pretty big right now. Okay, nice. But yeah, it's not just like write whatever and it's a decent paper. You have to get it through this committee of like 5 people, and it's very sort of politicized to an extent. Just to give you an example of like how challenging like some aspects of PhD work can be. Like for our comps, which is our composite exams, you know, I was told one of the big selling points of this university where I was getting my PhD was that, you know, you have a lot of flexibility in your comps. So you get to have a lot of say in which books you're going to read, as long as you can justify why you think they're going to be helpful. And this is going to give you a head start on your dissertation because, you know, you'll already be on target. You'll already be reading things towards your dissertation. So they were saying, oh yeah, we can get you out of there in 4 years, no problem. You know, that's one of the unique things about us, is that we have these comps that are really friendly. Because like most places, well, they're going to get... most Shit. Hold on a second. I think, hopefully she's not dead. She's probably dead though. Maybe she flashes out. Alright, let me... Most places you'll have like a standardized list. Alright, I'm just muting Syndra. She's just so annoying. Most places you'll have a standardized list of like 200 books. They're like, hey, read this. This is what you have to know to pass comprehensive exams. And it's just like a standard. You're doing Brit Lit. Okay, here's like really important Brit Lit books that you need to know. Versus this one was like, you get to pick. It's like tailored 75, like more in-depth, but you have more say in like what you're reading. And so I thought it was going to be great. Well, then I got to the committee and I, you know, I was like, okay, I think these are the books that I want. I think this is kind of the justification for why I think they're going to be helpful, why I think it represents, you know, mastery of the field, how it could potentially fit in with my dissertation. And then there's like, no. Some people on my committee. And I was like, okay, I expected a little pushback, like, you know, but they wouldn't even say what they wanted. They're just like, don't you think you need a bit more critical theory on there? Or don't you think you need this kind of representation or this or that? And I was like, okay, well, what do you want on there? And they're like, you know, you got to figure it out. Okay. I had to play guess and check to get that exam for like a year. I had to go through like 15 drafts of a proposal for that before they would finally say, okay, I guess, you know, we'll accept this. And then when we get in there, like there's, you know, they were pushing, they're like, we're going to test you on every single one of these 75 books. You better know them all in depth. Answer any question about it. They asked me about maybe 20 total books. I don't know. So it was just kind of frustrating. Now, I know they don't want to read my really, like, it's just a difference in philosophy between departments. Like my master's, I'm going to get more words here. My master's program was like, hey, you're reading these obscure books, you know, got representations of Buddhism in Victorian England. Cool, sounds good. Like, we don't know a lot about that, but if you can explain it to us well enough, you know, we can be on board with that. As long as you can fit it into bigger conversations in the field. Whereas, like, at my PhD program, they're like, well, if we haven't read it, we don't want it to be on the list, basically. And we're only going to ask you questions about stuff that we read. And it's like, I get it. They're super busy people. I'm just one student among dozens that they have to deal with, and they're trying to publish their own books and all that crap. So, you know, I don't expect them to actually read all of these weird books, but I don't know. To me, I think you can still examine somebody and figure out if they would be a good scholar, even if you haven't read everything they're talking about, you know? Like, you can get a sense of, okay, they're justifying it really well, they're, like, situating it in the context of other scholars and stuff like that. I mean, Crucible is good, but, you know, once again, I don't have infinite money. Yeah, I need redemption before Crucible. Oh, she got it blocked. Okay, she got him anyways. Yeah, sorry if frames are dropping. It should come back up. We've got the cable guy coming in tomorrow morning. So hopefully we'll get that fixed. Who the like, after every single person on my team, I have to mute their pings because they are all trolling. I don't think they're at Baron. Dude, I don't have any wards. They might be at Baron. No, they wouldn't do it without Yasuo, I don't think. Yeah, they would. Like, I went as deep as I could over there. I warded up this part of the jungle. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't go up there by myself and ward that. His team wasn't there.
Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. Enemy is unstoppable.
We are all tied to the ocean.
Your turret has been destroyed.
The fuck is going on with this?